Welcome back to Tiger News Television. I'm Morgan Peters.
And I'm Pearson Tholstrup.
And we'll be your anchors this week. Now that you know who we are, let's get started.
Hi, I'm Connor Roth, and I'm bringing you sports news. This week on Sports News, baseball, softball, track, tennis, and golf have started practice 2 weeks ago and are about to have their first games and tournaments. There's a JV baseball game on the 29th of March at Rock Creek. Also, there's an upcoming boys tennis meet for varsity/JV on the 30th of March at Sacred Heart. Also on the same day, we have a varsity track tournament at Holton, also a varsity baseball and JV and varsity softball game here against Chapman. On April 1st, there is a boys tennis meet at Abilene and a varsity track meet at Abilene. Now back to Pearson and Morgan.
Wow, thanks Connor. But let's keep this episode rolling. Now on to Ethan.
Hey y'all, this is Ethan. Our assistant principal, Mr. Ferguson, suggested that I interview our school nurse, Mrs. Smith, so that's what I'm going to be doing this week. How has the virus changed your role as a school nurse in our school?
This year has been a lot different for me for various reasons. You have to do a lot of planning for the school year normally, but this school year took even more planning than normal. So we started planning clear back into June on how we were going to handle all sorts of different situations pertaining to COVID-19. So the planning part was a big part of the deal going into the school year. But disease surveillance has always been a big part of my job, but was a huge part of my job this year. Just with when someone was diagnosed with COVID-19, helping with some of the contact tracing, keeping track of when students should and should not be in school, those types of situations. Also, our custodial staff has done a phenomenal job with cleaning, so has the students and the staff members, but also just kind of doing a little bit of education with students and staff about hand washing, personal hygiene, those type of things. And it just has taken a little bit more of my time than normal.
Wow, that's cool. Well, thank you very much for the things you've done for our school.
Thanks, Ethan.
Ethan really does a good job on pal time.
Now, on to more interviews.
Hello, I'm Emma Fitzmyer, and I'll be interviewing a few people, asking them what their plans are for this Easter.
I'm gonna go see family and fish.
I'm gonna go see distant family and hang out with my cousins.
I'm gonna hopefully get some work done on my truck and hang out with friends and family.
Now back to our anchors, Pearson and Morgan.
Those were some great interviews. Now how about we move on to news?
I'm Mark Hoffman with the Ccchs News. In the FBLA March of Dimes Challenge, Lincoln won with $246, but the high school is a close second with $217 raised. Mrs. Murphy's advisory raised the most money and received donuts. In total, we raised $464. Thank you to everyone who participated in the challenge. The Tiger Band held Stardusters on March 26th. The FFA has been busy with multiple competitions this spring. They took first in the Ag Scholars Bowl on March 23rd. That's all for the Ccchs News.
I'm Trista Fitzenmeyer, and I'm going to be doing local news. Have you seen the latest mural in Clay Center? If you haven't yet, go check it out on the site of Ccchs. Things are continuing to move forward with the mural movement in Clay Center, as there are many more murals to come, so keep a lookout for others around town. The renovations of Clay Center Family Physicians Clinic was recently given a big grant of $100,000 from the Patterson Family Foundation. The money given supports a campaign that was created to fund the new furnishings, fixtures, and equipment that will be a part of a $1.6 million total renovation of the entire clinic. This project is expected to be completed around July. As many know, the locker plant went through a major fire that burnt through the building. Firemen started inside the building, but eventually had to move outside as the fire continued to grow. Overnight crews worked hard to fight the growing fire that ended in a total loss. We send our thanks to those first responders and community members that helped with the fire. We also send our condolences to the Diekman family for the loss of their business.
Hey, this is Brooks Craig bringing you the state news. According to KSN News, Sandra Steeper, a retired Hayesville teacher, will soon be the first person in the nation to receive a bionic arm that she will be able to control with her mind. Steeper's left forearm was amputated in June of 2018 due to blood clots that completely cut off circulation to her hand. She learned from a doctor in New York that she is a candidate for a new prosthetic arm. After getting a metal rod implanted into her bone and enduring several months of healing and therapy, Steeper was given clearance by the doctor to receive the new arm. Her husband, Mark, says that it's a relief that she'll be getting her arm back and that she'll be able to do so much more with the new arm.
I'm Jordan Ingermeyer, and I'm here with national news. A teen from New Jersey has been making bow ties for dogs and shelters since 2017. His name is Darius Brown. As a young entrepreneur, he started after Hurricane Irma. He has his own website, SureDariusBrown.com, which you can donate to, and he's hoping to start his own foster facility for dogs.
Hi, Tiger News Television. This is Anna Barella bringing you world news around the globe.
On March 11th, the world's oldest DNA was found in the DNA of a Siberian mammoth tusk. How old was it? It was 1.2 million years old. On March 11th, a rare sighting of a yellow-colored king penguin had been sighted. Thankfully, Yavis Adams, the photographer, was on scene. Please be watching your emails from both counselors and staffs for upcoming events you may be involved in.
We had some interesting news stories this week.
We sure did. Now on to weather with Mason.
Hello, Clay Center High School. My name is Mason Moyes. I'm your TNT weatherman. Looks like we're going to have some good weather during the last few days of March and beginning of April, with high in the high 60s and lows in the low 30s.
Hopefully the weather forecast holds true.
Yeah, let's finish up this episode with upcoming events.
Good morning, Ccchs. I'm your host for upcoming events, Ryan Benfer. Spring break is over now, and we're glad to have you back here in good old Clay Center, Kansas. So let's get to those upcoming events. On April 1st, the FFA will be going to Cloud County Community College to participate in Aggie Days. Also on the 1st, varsity boys tennis is in Abilene and varsity track is at Chapman. There is no school on April 2nd in observance of Good Friday. And when we come back to school off of the 3-day weekend, on April 5th, JV boys tennis is at Abilene, JV boys baseball is at Council Grove. Good luck to all our Tigers supporting our school extracurriculars.
Thanks, Ryan. Everyone did a great job this week.
Of course, we had some interesting segments.
And that brings this episode of Tiger News Television to a close. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time on Tiger News Television.